Ever wondered who the most kissed girl in the world might be? An international celebrity, perhaps? A revered monarch? Well, buckle up, folks, because this story is about to take a wild plunge. A quick perusal of our history books might lead you to believe that the most kissed girl in the world would be a famous actress or a beloved royal figure. Maybe even a popular singer with a fan base stretching from the icy reaches of Siberia to the sun-soaked beaches of California. But let me assure you, the truth is far more fascinating and, dare I say, a little eerie. Now let's play a little game of Guess Who. Picture this. She's a real head-turner. Her face is etched into the minds of millions and she doesn't even have a name. Intriguing, isn't it? She's kissed every day by people of all ages and from all walks of life. Yet she never utters a word, never bats an eyelash, and never, ever kisses back. This mysterious maiden, our unsung heroine, isn't gracing the silver screen, nor is she prancing about in the hallowed halls of a palace. No, she's far too humble for such grandeur. Instead, she prefers to keep a low profile, spends her time mostly in classrooms, hospitals, and emergency service stations. By now, you must be thinking, what kind of riddle is this? Well, hold on to your hats, because the answer is about to take us down a path that's as unexpected as it is fascinating. In the grand tapestry of human history, there are few figures as paradoxically prominent and anonymous as our mystery girl. She's been around since the 19th century, yet her popularity only seems to grow with each passing year. Her face, etched not in film or in royal portraits but in rubber, is one of the most recognized in the world. And drumroll please, the most smooched lass in the world is a 19th century drowned teenager. Bet you didn't see that coming. Now you're probably scratching your heads wondering how a drowned girl from the 19th century is beating modern-day celebrities in the kissing game. Well, allow me to connect the dots for you. You see, the most kissed girl in the world isn't just any girl. She's the face of CPR dummies worldwide. Yes, that's right. Those plastic faces you've been planting smooches on in your CPR classes are modeled after her. But don't worry, it's not as creepy as it sounds. In the name of safety, and perhaps a dash of historical reverence, the creators of the CPR dummy, also known as resuscitation, decided to breathe life into their model by giving it a real face. And who better to immortalize than a mysterious maiden with an intriguing backstory? CPR dummies, for those of you who haven't had the chance to get up close and personal yet, are lifelike mannequins used to teach life-saving techniques. They're like silent teachers, guiding us through the steps of cardiopulmonary resuscitation without uttering a word. And while they may seem a bit odd, they play a crucial role in preparing us for real-life emergencies. But let's not forget the humor in this. Imagine the scene. A room full of people, lips locked with plastic dummies, all in the name of saving lives. It's a sight that would give any observer a good chuckle, and yet it's a crucial part of our journey to becoming potential lifesavers. So the next time you find yourself puckering up for a CPR dummy, don't feel awkward. Instead, revel in the knowledge that you're participating in a tradition that spans across decades, and that you're part of a global smooch fest that saved countless lives. And remember, these dummies are more than just pieces of plastic. They're a testament to our commitment to saving lives and a tribute to a young girl whose face has become a universal symbol of hope. So, the next time you're practicing mouth-to-mouth on a dummy, remember, you're not the first, and certainly not the last. Let's dive back in time to understand how our mysterious maiden became the face of CPR dummies. Here's a tale that's as fascinating as it is slightly morbid. Our story starts in the late 19th century Paris. Imagine horse-drawn carriages, cobblestone streets, and the smell of fresh baguettes. Now picture this. A young girl, tragically drowned in the River Seine, her face forever frozen in a peaceful slumber. Her name is lost to the annals of history, but her face, oh, her face. It was so serene, so beautiful that the pathologist at the morgue was smitten. Not in a creepy way, mind you, but in an artistic one. He created a death mask, a common practice of the time to preserve her enchanting features. Fast forward to the swinging 60s. A Norwegian toy maker named Asmund Lerdahl is tasked with creating a realistic mannequin for CPR training. He's flipping through a catalog of masks, probably while sipping a cup of strong Nordic coffee, when he stumbles upon our drowned maiden's mask. It's love at first sight. Her face, once a symbol of eerie tranquility, is now destined to be the face of Risushi Ann, the world's first CPR dummy. Imagine that, from a lifeless mask in a Parisian morgue to the lips of millions learning to save lives. Talk about a career change. And so, our maiden's face has been puckered up to by countless first aid trainees, firefighters, lifeguards, school kids, you name it, all practicing the life-saving kiss of life on her serene visage. It's quite the paradox, isn't it? A girl who lost her life to the water, now helping others cheat death. In a way, she's the ultimate posthumous influencer. Her face known worldwide, even if her name isn't. From the depths of the Seine to the lips of the world, it's a journey as strange as it is touching. Who knew a chance encounter with death would immortalize her as the most kissed girl in the world? But how did our drowned damsel meet her watery end? And how did she become the most kissed girl posthumously? Now, let's dive into the chilling waters of the Seine, where the story of our mystery maiden takes a tragic turn. In the late 19th century, a young unidentified woman was found drowned in the river. The cause of her demise? A riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Was it a tragic accident, a heart-wrenching suicide, a case of foul play? We may never know. But here's where the story takes an eerie turn. The Paris pathologist on duty was so taken by her serene beauty that he decided to immortalize her by creating a death mask, a common practice in those days to preserve the final, peaceful expression of the departed. And thus, the L'Inconnue de la Seine, or the unknown woman of the Seine, was born. Most death masks end up gathering dust in some forgotten corner, but not our L'Inconnue. Her face, frozen in time, captivated the hearts of countless artists, writers, and poets, turning her into a posthumous celebrity of sorts. The mask was replicated and sold across Europe, adorning the walls of many a bohemian abode. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, and enter Norwegian toy maker Asmund Lerdahl. When tasked with creating a realistic mannequin for CPR training, he remembered the mask of the L'Inconnue. Her face, which had fascinated and inspired so many, was now about to serve a purpose beyond art and aesthetics. It was about to become the face of life-saving practice. And so our drowned damsel, whose life was cut short by the unforgiving waters of the Seine, found a new lease on life. Her face, once a symbol of tragic beauty, became a beacon of hope and survival. And that, dear listeners, is how a drowned teen from the 19th century became the most kissed girl in the world, albeit posthumously. Well, as they say, life can be strange and death even stranger. So there you have it, folks. The tale of the most kissed girl in the world. A girl whose life was cut short, but whose legacy lives on every time someone puckers up to a CPR dummy. Yes, it's a tale as unique as it is unexpected. A story of a drowned maiden from the 19th century who, in a twist of fate, became the face of resuscitation. Who would have imagined that a young girl from Paris would end up being the embodiment of life-saving techniques? It seems that even in death she found a way to give life, a feat few can claim. But let's not forget the humor in all of this. After all, who else can boast of being kissed millions of times, even in the afterlife? It's a peculiar kind of fame, isn't it? She may not have walked down the red carpet or graced the silver screen, but she's undoubtedly a superstar in the medical world. It's a strange kind of immortality, but immortality nonetheless. And what about the unsung heroes who made this possible? The pathologist who cast her face, the creators who designed the first CPR mannequin, and of course, every single person who has ever locked lips with a CPR dummy. They've all played a part in keeping her memory alive. So next time you encounter a CPR dummy, spare a thought for the girl behind the mask. The girl from Paris who unwittingly became the most kissed girl in the world. Remember her story, her legacy, and the unusual way in which she continues to impact our world. And remember, when it comes to leaving a legacy, being a life-saving device has its perks. You may not get a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, but hey, you get millions of kisses from complete strangers. Now isn't that a lip-smacking legacy?